Great.
Right, I'm pretty important to that's what it was, yeah. And Emily was in charge of it.
Are we ready to start? Yeah. Okay. Hello everyone. How you doing? Good. All right, I'm the last session of the day, so I hope we'll stay awake. But I'm really happy to be here. Thank you for having me. The whole organization, the synagogues and federation. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself in a minute, but I used to be an emissary until like 3 months ago. So I'm really excited to give presentation again after a while that I haven't done it. And today I'm going to talk about October 7th and more specifically the effect of October 7th on Israeli small businesses. First of all, who am I? So my name is Ofek and I'm the co-founder of Ofek. Ofek is an online platform that supports Israeli small businesses. I'm going to talk more about exactly what it is, but a little bit about myself. I was born and raised in Modi'in, Central Israel. I know a lot of you are familiar. I graduated from the Modi'in Democratic School, and I took a focus in the arts when I was in high school. Like in high school, you know, we have majors, so if you know, so I took a major in arts. When I finished high school, I went to Connecticut, to Fairfield County, and I was a young emissary like you used to have in the past. And I was there for a year. I finished my year as a shinshin, as a young emissary, and I went back to Israel. I joined the IDF. I was part of the Nachal Brigade. I was an infantry. I was a commander of sniper squad for almost 3 years. I finished it. I traveled around the world, mostly South and Central America, like most Israelis are doing. I finished it and I was looking for what I should do. And then the Federation in Fairfield County reached out to me, Stacy Kamisar, my supervisor, and she asked me if I want to be the first shaliach that they have in the community. And I love this community, I love this job, and I came back to the same community that I was when I was 18, and I took a 2-year program there, being an emissary, just like Mayan and Dolev and Tommy. All of them are really good friends of mine. I finished my term as an emissary about 3 months ago in August, and I went back to Israel. I moved with a friend to Tel Aviv, the best city in the world, and I founded Ofek. So what are today's goals? So it's learn, connect, and support. And what does it mean? First one is to learn. We're going to discover how a single day, October 7th, have transformed the economy of the whole country, and how it specially affected small businesses, something that we often forget to talk about. Second thing is to connect. I'm going to give you an opportunity to connect with the stories of the Israeli small businesses. We're going to hear their story, we're going to read their story, and we're going to get to know them. It's not going to be just like being in Israel and going to the Shuk or to the Chal Binyamin, but it is going to be a taste of it. And I really hope that in the future we're going to have all tourism back again. We're going to be able to do the regular things that we used to love. But for now, we're going to watch the video. And the last thing is we're going to support, hopefully. We're going to support the Israeli entrepreneurs. We're going to help them to build their business and to rebuild their businesses who got heavily affected in October 7, and since then, most of them aren't been able to recover fully. So a little bit about the Israeli economy before October 7. First of all, it was flourishing and evolving. It was evolving in a really, really high pace. We saw it since Israel was founded. We call it the startup nation, the high-tech nation. Everyone really have a lot of innovations in it, and it was flourishing and evolving. Even though it was evolving, people were still recovering from the effects of COVID. Israel did better than most countries around the world in recovering from COVID if it's doing the vaccine and having a good policies that were able to bring us back together. But the effects on COVID were still really, really big in Israel, especially in Tel Aviv when we used to have a lot of tourism. It went down since COVID. Now it seems like a very long time ago because we had a war. We're still having this terrible war. But beforehand, we were in Israel in a time of a lot of political tension, a lot of uncertainty, a lot of conflict between different people, and it's caused a lot of instability among business owners and among the economy. It seems like it was ages ago, but it was only about a year and a half ago. Two things that are really important to know about Israel's economy before October 7. over 3.5% of Israel GDP comes from foreign tourism. It sounds like not a big number, but when 4% of your whole economy income is based from tourism, when it stops, it's impacting a really, really big hit, especially on small business owners, especially on small business owners that specialize in art or other gifts. And the last thing is that more than 30% of Israel's economy relies on good exports. This thing didn't went completely down, but it did heavily affected since October 7th. If it's the arms industry, the diamonds industry, or just different products. If it's we have soaps and we have jewelry and we have different gifts that people used to be shipping. Right now, any of you tried to book a flight to Israel recently?
Yes.
No? Yes. They're barely. Okay. To come here, I had to fly through Athens and then with Emirates all the way here. If there is no regular flight, there are no commercial flights that take goods. It's heavily affected the price of shipping stuff, and it's heavily affected the amount of things that are coming to Israel. It's 30% of Israel's economy relies on export goods. When the flight stops, it's a big impact. What is even a small business in Israel? How this industry looks like? So there's around roughly 600,000 small and medium businesses that are based in Israel. It goes from 1 worker to 10 workers. That's what counts as a small or medium business. And 50% of them, it means 300,000, are only one-person business. It means that you're doing everything. If it's producing, packaging, shipping, marketing, the whole business is only you. A good example for it is Barak Iluz. He's the owner of Berko Design. It's one of the artists that we're representing. He's the only person in his business. If he's not working, the business is not working. If he's working really well, the business is working really well. Many of those businesses are owned and run by Olim Chadashim, new immigrants who made Aliyah to Israel. And I didn't know it until I started to work in this industry. But the reason a lot of them are Olim Chadashim is that a lot of people that came from Russia, Ukraine, other countries, if it's Brazil or Argentina, my dad came from Argentina, he made Aliyah. A lot of those people, when they had a profession, if it's being a photographer or it's being, stylist, you're coming to Israel, you don't know the language, a lot of them don't know even English, they come and they have nothing to do. So what they do in order to make some money, they're opening a business with their profession or with a new profession that they learn. And then it's much easier to get some money until you learn the language and until you're getting really part of the Israeli society. The last thing is that something really special about a small business is that it represents the really full diversity of Israeli society and geographically. Which means that we have small business in Elat, and we have small business in Haifa, and we have small business in Metula. All over Israel we have small businesses, and they are representing the whole spectrum of Israel society. If it's Jewish people and not Jewish people, if it's Druze and Bedouin, if it's Mizrahi Jews, Sephardic Jews, or Ashkenazi Jews, if they're wealthier or they're not as wealthy, this really represents the whole spectrum of Israeli society. So now I'm going to transform to after October 7th, and that's what I'm here to talk about. October 7th hit a lot of Israeli businesses. All 600,000, I always like to say that I'm representing in my business businesses who got heavily affected by October 7th. Then when I started to say it, I was like, but everyone got affected by October 7th. So all 600,000 got affected by October 7th. We're representing the ones that got affected the most, who reach out for help, and I'm going to tell you about our model in a minute. But I want to introduce you to Alina and Roma. You remember I told you there are Olim Chadashim, there are a lot of Olim Chadashim who runs businesses. That's Alina and Roma. They're the owners of No Dark Factory. They're located in Haifa. They moved into Israel from Russia, Olim Chadashim. There is a war between Russia and Ukraine. They lived in Moscow. They're both movie marketing professionals. They did production and marketing. The war was in Russia and Ukraine, still is in Russia and Ukraine, and they didn't want to take part of this war. Alina is Jewish, Roma isn't, and they made Aliyah with the law of return. They moved into Israel, calm, beautiful place. 6 months after, the war started. They moved from one war to another war in less than 6 months. They don't speak Hebrew. She's taking Ulpan, Roma is not. They barely speak English. You're going to see their English in the video, as I'm going to show you in a moment. It's really good. We had to work a lot about it. Alina speaks a fairly good English, but Roma barely. And that's the challenges they had since the war began. So let's watch the video together that Ofek, including myself, produced.
The sunshine, the birds singing,
many lights and no dark.
I'm Marina,
I know.
and we are the owners of No Dark Factory here in Haifa. The No Dark is about this philosophy about the style of living with hope, with positive thinking. When you think that everything around is going to hell, but you still should be strong, and be positive. Our way to say to people of Israel and the people of, all over the world who struggle with wars, abuse, or violence, that light always overcomes dark. 15 years I was living in Moscow.
We moved to Israel about 2 years ago, the war between Russia and Ukraine.
1 year and a half.
1 year and a half ago.
The most amazing thing about Israel that people, how they welcomed us very warmly. We started everything from scratch, and I think that Israel is the best country to do it. When the war started, all our relatives and friends tried to call us to say that we need to leave Israel and to leave the country. We understood that we don't want to do that, but also we don't know what to do exactly in Israel. So we started to volunteer because we really were stressed, we were depressed, and we felt lost. So we're trying to find something that will help us to feel better. Then one day we met our neighbor that she was saying, like, what are you doing? Volunteering is the thing we need to do. We need to pray, we need to light the candle. So we went to different shops to find candles and realized that we don't like them. I found this guy in the shop who was selling this start kits to make a first candle. The process of doing this candle was so exciting, was so calm, was so peaceful. And I found that during I was doing this candle, I wasn't thinking about the war, about the sirens, about the rockets. And the idea of this candle came with the smell of caramel soup. The German was everyone who cooked in the family, so who visited this shop every week, every Friday, actually. And this the smell of herbs, lemon, pomegranate was always there.
Music, shouts, noise, and other wine of Iranian market or in other markets in Israel.
With the help of guys from Ofek, a lot of people could find our candles, could have this smell at home, have this feeling at home. It's a big pleasure to have our candles all over the world.
Ofek is a part of non-dark, I think, mission.
You're just staying here doing this candle, Am Israel High. You hear the siren, okay, but Am Israel High. So.
Amazing. So I always say I have the best job ever because that's what I do all the time. I go to different artists, I go to different businesses, I hear their stories, take videos with them, and now we're making and producing it. So if you have any questions about Alina and Roma, I'm happy to answer at the end of the program. So October 7th, what is actually the immediate effect on Israel's economy? So the first thing that everyone knows is the reserve duty. Like Alex was called to reserves. Along with Alex, 8% of Israel workforce has been called to reserve. 8% of Israel workforce has been called to reserve. That's a very, very, very big hit on Israel's economy. And who hurts the most out of it? Israeli small businesses. You remember when I told you that if you're one business worker, if you don't work, there's no sales? That's what's happening in the war. If you have a small business and you're the only worker, but they called you because you're a paratrooper, they called you because you're in a special unit or you're in intelligence or whatever, your business has left behind and no one can run it. You're losing sales, you're losing the production. A lot of the stuff that you're usually making goes bad. So this reserves really hits hard the small business in Israel. The second thing is the lack of tourism. Since October 7th, there's been around 75% decrease of tourism in Israel. It's a giant number. It's really just a giant number. I live in Israel. I live in Tel Aviv. I like to say I live in the best street in Tel Aviv. If you're familiar, in the Nachalat Binyamin, the art fair, whenever it's selling, I live right above it. So I see the art fair every Tuesday and Friday, and it's usually really fun. But it's a pretty sad scene right now. Tuesday is empty. The artists are just selling there and not selling anything. Friday, there's a bit more people, mostly Israelis, who are buying much less. And I'm going to tell you in a bit why. Who get hurt the most from lack of tourism? Of course, hotels and airlines. But at the end of the day, small business owner who sells gifts, sell jewelry, sell soap, sell different candles, they're hurt the most because whoever buys those, people are coming from the US, people are coming from France, people are coming from South Africa and Australia. The last thing of immediate effect is that the country is in trauma. The sheer trauma that was experienced by Israelis significantly impact the productivity and the amount of work they're able to do. My parents, both of them weren't called for reserves. They're too old to be in reserves. But the amount of work they can achieve in a day went down significantly. Really, really, really badly. And the reason you're in a bad mood, you need to go 10 times a day to the bomb shelter, your kids are afraid and they're crying and you need to calm them down. All of those things really hit your productivity. So even if you're not in reserves and your life stayed the same, it's not the same. No matter what part of you in the Israeli side. That's the graph of Israel tourism. You know, ups and downs, kind of stayed in the 280, 380, went pretty high around 2020, and then over here we all know what happened. COVID dived down, stayed like that for 2 years. A lot of businesses, Israeli small business and big business, have been closed because of the pandemic. It went up around 2022, the beginning of 2022. We were able to kind of making it even, and then October 7th of 2023, another skydive down. You can see there's been a little increase. Have you gone into a mission with your federation or something like that? Some of us, I did it too when I was an emissary. There's been a little high in like February, March, April. Those things are not happening anymore. There are still mission, much less than it used to be, and you can see the graph is going down again. We talked about the immediate effect. Now we're over a year after October 7th. I really hope I'm going to tell you the war is going to end soon and everything is going to be okay, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be that close. And there are long-term effects on the Israeli economy. So the first thing is the reserve duty. Like I was saying, many Israelis continue to serve in reserve duty every few months. Okay? A lot of my friends are serving in the IDF. Every few months they call them for 2 months in reserve. My really good friend, he's been out of reserve for 6 months, and a few weeks ago they called him and they were like, Asaf, listen, you're coming for 2 months in Gaza. He's in school, he has work to do, and he's just going to reserves for 2 months, stop their life for 2 months. Who hurts the most again? Israeli small businesses. Try to imagine Berko, who's making the mezuzahs, or Alina and Roma, who are making the candles. They made 200 mezuzahs, and now they're stuck with no one that can sell it for 2 months. What's going to happen after? And what's happening if it's during Hanukkah, where the sales are the highest? What's happening if it's Rosh Hashanah or Independence Day? It's completely shake the ground that you're living in. Second thing is the cost of living has been increased. We talked earlier about how the price of the budget of the Israeli defense ministry went up. The cost of living in Israel has been risen a lot. And the fact that it went up, plus the instability and the fact that you don't know what's going to happen soon, makes a lot of Israelis to save money. And they're not buying luxury items anymore. They're saying, I'm not sure what's going to happen soon, so I'm keeping my mind to myself. I'm not going to buy a luxury item like a new necklace. I'm not going to buy a candle that I don't really need. And that's why we need a tourism who can bring them out when they have a bit more stability, but unfortunately it's still not happening. Adding the fact that a lot of people don't want to buy gifts right now when we have hostages, when we have people that are in a war. But when you don't buy those gifts, when you don't support the Israeli economy, it's actually making a really bad effect. And the last thing is evacuated Israeli. There are a lot of small businesses, mostly in the north and the south, that have been evacuated from their studio. Some of them we're representing. They cannot make their items anymore. They cannot keep inventory flowing anymore. Some of them have moved their whole business into another location in the center that costs a lot of money. And some of them are just stopped producing and lost their job. I want to talk about Sharon Moshe. You remember I told you that a lot of businesses had to be evacuated, or a lot of businesses have lost traffic and lost sales because they live in dangerous areas. This is the story of Sharon. Sharon Moshe. Actually, now it's Sharon Moshe. Sharon Moshe Shukun, I think. She just got married like a month ago. She's the owner and founder of Very Jewelry. She's located in Ashkelon. Ashkelon is about 4 kilometers from the Gaza Strip north after Zikim. And she's a jeweler who specializes in something called wax technique, which is carving in wax and then you're pouring silver on it. Really amazing technique. She's still living in Ashkelon. In the first 3 months, 2-3 months, she has 0 sales because who want to go to Ashkelon? They have rockets all the time there. She's not planning on moving. She said in the video that she's never planning on moving outside of Ashkelon. But that's the reality that she's living in. 2 or 3 months with no sales. And even now, no one's going to Ashkelon. Let's watch our video together.
I'm speaking Spanish from childhood, from the telenovelas. And I really like this language, so I went into the world very in Spanish to see all the little beautiful things in life. I'm Sharon Kovari, I'm 29. I live in Ashkelon and I'm the owner of the jewelry. I saw my grandpa making jewelry. I was very little, but I remember some of it. He was the one that made my earrings. I knew that I didn't want to do a degree. I always like to work with my hands, so I looked for something creative, and I realized that I was good at it. Favorite part about jewelry is start to finish. Like most little thing that I start with, it becomes to fine jewelry that people wear. So to see all the process and it's all making in my hands, it's what moves me. The jewelry that I like to do the most is wax jewelry, like carving. It really shows my hand's signature in the jewelry. Since the beginning of the war, I didn't sell one piece for like 2-3 months. I live in Ashkelon all my life, born and raised. We have the most rocket shooting. No one would like to come to Ashkelon because there's no way to come here. On October 7th, I was in my old apartment, and it got very worse when I knew that my dad is in the synagogue, one of the most dangerous places to be when there is terrorists. Eventually it came on, and my heart dropped. So there's been a lot of hard times here, but I'm faithful to this city. So we just moved to a new apartment that I wanted that my studio would be in it, so it would be very homey. I think my grandpa is very proud of me making this jewelry. He wasn't here yet, but he will be, and I will show my new studio. I started working on Eretz Israel necklace. The design of the necklace is like mountains, up and downs, like all of us in the last year. I started to work with Ofek because I saw a very big opportunity for me, for my business, to grow not only in Israel. When it goes overseas, it will be amazing. When I sell jewelry for people around the world, I really want them to know that the whole process is an Israeli process from start to finish. So my message to people all over the world is unfair high.
Amazing. So, we did learn, we did the connect, and now the support. How can we help? Those are just some of the artists that were working for us. If it's Sarit and Anati, it's all Sarit and Anati making games, game conversation starters to make your dinner table more fun. Or that is making coffee in espresso pods. Mika who makes jewelry, and we have Rabbi Shlomo who is making, he's a sofer, he's making cloths for mezuzah. So we were thinking to ourselves, what can we do to support? what can we, as me and my partner and you, what can we support? And we started a little research. And we found out two main things. The first thing is that Israeli small business owners need revenue from new markets. The lack of tourism really killed their businesses, and we need to find them a new market that supports them. The second thing is that Jewish communities want to connect and support Israelis as people. How do I know it? I was an Israeli emissary for 2 years. I saw the need of Jewish communities to help the Israeli people. I know the need of connecting. People are missing Israel really, really, really badly. To be there and to talk with people, and we are trying to find a solution for those two things. What kind of things that we heard in our research? So about the new market. So the first thing is, since I'm not located in immediate war zone, I'm not eligible for government support. Like Pri, Yarden and Sivan, they're based in Kiryat Ekron and Petah Tikva. That's the center of Israel. They're not immediate affected, so they're not getting money from the government. The instability in sale prevents me from purchasing inventory and growing my business. Who's going to buy inventory after you lost all of your business in COVID, and now you're losing all of your business again in the war? And going on reserve resulted in my business being left without any employee and brought sales to a halt. What did we hear from the other side? Maybe some of you can be, I feel kind of the same. Desire for more personal connection. I haven't been to Israel since October 7 or even prior to the COVID pandemic. Someone heard it? A lot of people in our community. My complicated relationship with national organizations in Israel, if it's the IDF or it's the government, the Knesset, made me feel less connected to the Israeli people that I really, really love and miss. And the most important thing, I'm looking for a way to make significant support to the Israeli people directly. Not to big organizations, not to big organizations that you don't know where the money is going to go to. I want to make sure that my money goes to a good cause. So we founded Ofek, and I'm going to read you the statement of Ofek. By the way, anyone knows what Ofek in Hebrew? Except the Israelis? Ofek is business, we're not as creative. Ofek is business. In Hebrew, Ofek's mission is to showcase the soul and spirit of Israel through its entrepreneurs, centering their story and offering people and communities around the world products as unique as the stories of those who made them. That's our mission statement, that's what we're saying behind. We're not selling products. We're connecting between people. That's our goal. I want you, when you wear one of the necklace, or when you're going to look at your candles, I don't want you to think only about the product. I want you to think about Sharon, or I want you to think about Alina and Roma from No Dark. How people partner with Ofek? We get this question a lot. So there's like 5 steps to it. The first one is outreach. Sometimes I'm doing scouting, sometimes they're reaching to us, and there's a word to mouth among the businesses. We get people, I heard that you're partnering with Ofek, I want to partner as well. Second thing is Zoom meeting. We're getting to know them a little bit more, make them feel comfortable with us. The third thing is an on-site visit. We want to understand their story, we want to do the photo shoot, the video, making this whole, it's about 3 hours and we're driving far. Like for Americans it's not that far, but 3 hours going to like Haifa or Arad, that's like too long. The fourth thing is we're telling their story of their business by doing this video online on our website, and we're putting the products on their website. And the last thing is ongoing support and business development. See Sapir over here? Sapir is selling the beautiful Hamsa necklaces that Liz already got one. She has it all around. I'm talking with her on almost a daily basis. Every time someone buying something, I'm sending her a screenshot of the sales, or I'm sending her a photo of people wearing it, and she's really excited working with us. How do we support the small businesses? So there are 3 main keys that we make sure that they're getting the support. The first thing is upfront payment. We're paying them upfront, making sure that they're able to create a stock. We're buying it from them and we're giving them the stability. Remember that I told you who's going to make stock with COVID and with October 7th? We're telling them, make a stock. We're going to buy all of it. If we don't sell, you know who's going to lose the money? We're going to lose the money. You're already getting your payment. With giving them the money, they're able to grow their business, opening a website, getting more products, and being more advanced. Second thing is full value. We're asking them how much money they want for the products if we're buying it in bulk. We never negotiate down a business, which means that the impact of your money buying through Ofek is the same impact like you're going to buy from their store in Israel. We're taking care of all of the shipping, handling, marketing. We're buying it from them, we never negotiate down. And the last thing is ongoing support. We're not buying and leaving them behind. We're always with them. The videos, they're getting the videos. The photos that we're taking of the product of themselves, we're giving them the photos. We're helping them to build a website. We're helping them to improve their English. We're making sure we're with them through the whole way, and we see ourselves as a springboard. They need to stay with us for a year, 2 years, 3 years. They build their business and they go on their own path. Make sure they're not stuck with us. We just want them to be more successful. We are trying really, really, really hard to share the diverse Israeli story, which means that we're trying to get as many artists from the periphery. It's not easy. Most artists are located in Jerusalem, they're located in Chulon, and they're located in Tel Aviv, the 3 major art schools. We're doing our best to get from the south and the north, and we're doing it. 40% of our business are located in the south of Israel, 23% from the north, around 15% are from the center of Israel, and only 23% are from the Tel Aviv metropolitan, which we are accepting. Everyone who needs help, we're helping them, but we're doing our best to share the diverse story. I talked about the south, right? I told you, I already complained twice that I went to Arad, because who's going to Arad? It's really far. But we went to Arad. We drove all the way to Arad, and we saw a lot of camels. I know it's stereotypical, like camels. No, but we saw a lot of camels there. Her name is Yonat Mordoch. She's the owner of Yonat Mikvar. She did a PhD in biology until she stopped in the middle. She's going to tell you exactly why she stopped in the middle. She's located in Arad, and she specialized in natural soap making that she learned how to make from the Bedouin tribe in the south. But instead of me telling her story, let's watch her video together. Oh, I don't have her video. Oh, I have it here. I'm going to go back to the next one.
I was a city girl, and my dream since childhood was to live in a village or in nature outside the city. And I immediately fell in love with the desert. I'm Yonat, the owner of Yonat Midbar, which is located in Arad, in the Judean desert. And I'm making natural soaps. I'm a soap maker. So I make natural soaps from oils, from natural edible oils. I became very fascinated about medicinal plants, herbs. I wanted to learn about nature, in nature, with nature, from nature. And I was thinking, who are the people that might know anything about the desert plants? And I realized it was the Bedouin, the traditional dwellers of the desert. I went to the villages, the recognized and unrecognized villages, and it was a great experience for me. I was witnessing traditional healing processes, practices, and I went with them outside to nature, to the desert, to see the plants. October 7th was terrible. We woke up and there's a war happening. We have a relative, quite close relative, who was in this party, the Nova party, and my sister calls me crying, saying that they lost contact. Last thing she told them was that she's being shot. After 3 weeks, we got the knowledge that she was murdered. On the first day, on October 7th, I just couldn't function the first few days. I really feel that together, helping each other, we can rise up. And the togetherness is not only within Israel, it's also abroad. Everybody that feel the connection to Israel, that's exactly where Ofek is coming in. It's helping, spreading the word and helping the world get connected to Israel, to this togetherness, to this community, and helping this whole idea to come alive. This soap is Dead Sea mud soap. It leaves the skin soft and rich with minerals. It has the layers of the Dead Sea mud. I started adopting a healthy lifestyle, of course starting with the food, but then I realized that if I really want to keep my health, it's as important as what I intake to what I eat. It's also important to look of what I apply on my skin. It's not a plastic sheet as we sometimes tend to consider it. It's alive, a living organ, and many of the things that we apply on the skin are absorbed into our body and affect our health. Hair products that we find in the shops contain I will say it gently, ingredients that are not really helping our health. In the beginning, it was just a DIY hobby, and I really enjoyed it, playing with the ingredients, getting to know new ingredients, the things that make my body, my skin feel good, and my soul feel good.
I'll go back to a second. I do wanna, we need to reorder it when I get back home. But support one, support all. We're insisting in ESSEC that as much as we can, which is close to 100% of the thing that we're selling, is actually 100% as of now, is made in Israel. And when you're donating, or not donating, when you're buying from one item in our platform, you're supporting many Israeli businesses. What does it mean? You bought from ESSEC, automatically it's divided into three places. First of all, all the employees of ESSEC are Israeli, or Americans who made Aliyah. We're hiring only people who are from Israel. The Israel Post, we're shipping from Israel Post, not DHL, UPS, nothing, only the Israel Post. Vitsky is the owner of, if you saw the frames with the little drawing inside, or the tote bags that people already start to take with them, it goes to Vitsky. Vitsky is making those prints that are framed. This money goes to three places, four places actually. One of them is Vitsky itself. Second thing is the local art store that he buys all of his products in Tel Aviv. Second one is framed, it's hand framed in Ramat Gan. We could lower the price very easily and buying from IKEA, the little frames that they have. But we insist on doing a hand frame in Ramat Gan. And then the last one is Tel Aviv print shop. In one purchase, you supported, let's see, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or yeah, six different businesses in Israel. The last thing I want to tell you is a really cool project that we're starting right now. We're supporting evacuated family. We got this request from Kfar Aza, right next to the Gaza border, got evacuated because their whole kibbutz was destroyed. They're moving to kibbutz Ruchama. They're moving to another kibbutz, and in this kibbutz there are no mezuzahs. You build a new house, there are no mezuzahs. And like I remember that I told you that people are not spending money on luxury items anymore, or much less. They asked us for 220 mezuzahs. We reached out to Rabbi Shlomo, who is working with us, and we told him, listen, we need to buy 220 mezuzahs. We got a very, very big donation from the Reform movement and from the American Zionist movement and from really, really, really good people who decided to donate their money in order to buy those items. And we gave our part, ESSEC, we gave our part, we're not making any money on it. And we gave 220 mezuzahs to Kibbutz Ruchama, right now collecting the people from Kibbutz Kfar Aza. And we thought to ourselves, wow, that's such an amazing project. We did, both supported Shlomo financially, both supported all the people from Kfar Aza. We need to do more. So we started this project called the Care Packages for Evacuated Family. We designed this box. It looks like that. Every box has a bit different thing, depends on the family. Sometimes it has a mezuzah and a cloth, and it has scented candles, or it has Shabbat candles. Sometimes it has some food. We're not selling food here because it's like legally the importing and exporting of food, but we are doing in Israel. Sometimes we give the games, depends if they have young kids or not young kids, and we're making those packages and we're giving them to all the families who need to be displaced to make them feel a bit more home. The value of all of this box is around $400. We're selling it for $180 for people to sponsor it. We're giving our part, ESSEC. We're not making any money of it, and we're actually losing a little bit of it, but we believe it's a really, really good cause. Our goal by the end of the year, I think, is 360 boxes. We already were managed to get around 100. A lot of federations have donated like 10 boxes, and then they have a little recognition of their name. So personal people have decided to give money. And that's a really, really cool project that we're working on right now. I just wanted to share with you this. I think that's it. I want to tell you, Toda Rabba, thank you, both for your support of Israel, support of Israeli small business and the Israeli people, and for inviting me here. I came all the way from Israel, so I'm happy to do this program. Thank you, thank you. I'm going to be outside. You saw the two tables. I'm going to be selling our stuff. There are a 10% discount for everyone in this room. And the people who didn't come to my program. Everyone in the synagogue has a 10% off because you really brought me here. And I'm happy to take some questions. And you can buy on the website. and you can watch the videos on the website. Yeah, yes,
I want to make a comment.
yeah.
So we've known you for a long time, from the day you arrived as a young missionary a long time ago. And I'm so impressed by this, because I know that you also spent 2 more years in Connecticut as a shaliach, and your life has been dedicated to bringing American Jews together with Israel and helping people. And now you've figured out a way to create a business that takes that and moves it to another level and turns it into something that's helping so many at a really, really, really important time. I'm just so proud of you, and I think what you're doing is amazing.
Thank you, thank
And
you.
I really have my doubts, and I'm excited.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. And I think a lot of this thing created because I saw that the love of the American Jewish communities and the love that they have for Israel. And unfortunately, not enough Israelis know about it. But I can tell you that those 15 artists already know about it. And our 250 followers on Instagram, or most of them Israelis because they're my friends, know about it. But I encourage you to follow as well. Do you have any more questions? Yeah.
Is there a 501(c) aspect to it, or is?
Oh, is that the tax deductible
Yes,
thing?
yes.
Wow, I already know. That's amazing. Yes, if you go to our website, I can give you the QR code in a minute. You can purchase it without the tax deductible, or you can donate to the American Zionist movement, and you write in the notes for Ofek, and they're collecting our funds as a donation. As of now, we're working on a non-profit status in Israel. Should be ready in like 2 months. But as of now, the American Zionist movement are taking it for us. Yeah. So
You can give a box through that.
yeah, you can give it. If you give, so the way it works, if you do 1 box or 2 boxes, something like that, is go to whoever is in the most need. Some organization prefer, like federations or JC, or some families who want to donate like 10 boxes and above, can dedicate it to specific kibbutz, or more correct, asking us to find the kibbutz that they need the most. Yeah, but I'm happy to answer more questions, like offline or online, whatever. It's already almost 10. Any more questions? Yeah. Lane. Oh yeah.
Can you share your slideshow?
Yeah.
With Liz or Stephen and?
Yeah.
Because I would love to share it with my kids and other family members.
Oh,
and
I'll be more than happy to share it. Yeah, I'll be more than happy to share it. Great. And thank you for listening. It was amazing. I missed doing programs. That's good. Thank you. I'm gonna be right there. If you have any more questions or you want to purchase some of the stuff.
Oh, good.
They're not there.
Ofek, I'm turning this off.